Well, hi guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. And it's Friday, and I've been working for a good part of the day out here today and got a fair amount accomplished. As you can see, I have my wheels mounted back on, and I have my steering wheel just sitting on there, but the shaft is all in permanently. And let me take you down in underneath. We have all of our mechanisms for the steering hooked up here. And let me run it for you. See if I can do this, hold the camera at the same time. And it works nice and smoothly, at least up here on the lift it does. Sorry, got that shaft right in the way, that rod. But yeah, we got our steering all back together, tie rods, drag links, everything has been greased. Most of it is new, including our tie rod and our drag link there, and the pitman arm and the steering gears. All of those pieces up in there are new. Yes, sirree, Bob, they are new. So that's a good thing. You remember in my last video, I had a picture of my brake band, and let me see, what did I do with it? I'm always prepared, you know. Oh, I know, I'll show it to you in a minute. But you remember I also had a problem with my brake lever being frozen. Well, we've got that. Let me see if I can do this now. Get the right rod. Okay. There we go. It's all hooked up and freed up. I had to use lots of heat down in there. And then we sanded everything inside and out, and I gave it a quick coat of paint just to protect it a little bit. And that's got grease in there, so that shouldn't seize up again in my lifetime. Let me see, what else did I do? That's most of what I've been doing today, is working on the front end and the steering. I have this set up here, which my seat is going to mount to here. This part here will get welded onto my original frame, and then I'm going to have these springs on here to give me a little bit of bounce, you know, a little bit of suspension. Oh, and look at this. I have the top of the engine is all back together, and the gas line is all hooked up, goes right around to the other side. Let me take you over there. Yep, we got the air filter and unit back on. Here's our gas tank. And it has a shut-off valve right underneath, and it is permanently mounted up there. And I haven't hooked up my choke cable, but you know where that's going to go. I already showed you that. That will be mounting right in there. When I get the seat mount finished off, and I may end up, I think I'm going to take, if I have enough wire, because I already clipped all my wires to fit with this way it is, but I may end up remounting my solenoid up here. I think that's what those two mounts there are for, those two holes. Yep, and that would be a better place. I think I could make it work. We'll see. And let me see, what else do we do? Oh, one thing I discovered, I have my bumper bar all cleaned and painted. You saw that already. But what I didn't realize is that this belt guide, not only is it not centered the way it was originally, but yeah, it's going to be sticking out too far this way, so I've got to do some modifications to that. That mounts onto that back plate, which my bumper bar is mounted to. Then let me swing you around over here. You saw some of the other things I painted. I have my nose piece all cleaned and painted. Yep, and she's dry to the touch now, but it's not ready to go back on quite yet because we need to finish sanding, cleaning, cleaning everything from about here forward up to the pedals and put a coat of paint on that. And so yeah, that will be a nice thing. And that has that brake release over there. Let me take this and take my dash panel back up here. That rod that's coming through right there, that is the brake lock, and it comes through here. Let me see here, get everything lined up. I got my wires from my oil pressure light holding me up here. See if I can do this one-handed. Why do we always try to do things one-handed instead of preparing ahead of time? Anyway, that all goes in there like that, and this rod works. Push my brake lever forward. That rod works this lock, and you pull out on that. Well, I have to re-thread the inside of this, but this is going to be my knob for my brake release and brake set. Yes sirree Bob. And that'll take care of that. And then, oh yeah, I got something else done. This is over the last 2 or 3 days I've been doing these things. Haven't always reported on them. There is our hood assembly, and it's okay. Better than it was. It was all faded black. At least now it's more like original. And this piece down here that got painted, that's the hub for the brake drum and also for the clutch disc. Both mount onto that. So yeah, I've been pretty busy and got a fair amount done. I wish I could just let this down because it'd be a whole lot easier for me to cleaning and painting this with it down lower. And I suppose I could and then put it back up again. But I need it up because I still have more linkage work to do underneath. And my goal for tomorrow being Saturday, can't spend all day out here tomorrow because I gotta prepare music for Sunday. But I got all these pieces down here, which are my mower deck mounts. And you can see the one that had the shaft going through it. And I heated that puppy up till it was almost cherry red. And it took me a while, but I finally got the rod out. And the other rod that is quite worn, this one here, I already showed you this one, I think. That was worn on both ends. I ended up using this as a drift to drive that rod out. But I have one of my rods cut here, right there. Let me back up. I have one of them cut to do that one. They're both the same length, I think. And I'm going to cut another one. And actually it's sitting over on my cut-off saw right now. Cut the other one for the other part of the mower deck mount. So yeah, that would make me very happy if I got all of those things done tomorrow. And oh, I did say I was going to tell you about my brake band. Here is the brake band that came off of it, and you'll notice there are no brake shoes on it. And I'm glad actually in some ways that that lever got frozen because it kept them from wearing this thing right through, and it also kept them from wearing out the drum for this. So I'm going to be sandblasting all of these parts. Roger O'Connor asked me in the comments from my last video, he said, do you have any abrasive material? And I thought to myself, no, I didn't, because I was in the process of ordering a new old stock brake band with the pad already on it, And if you buy them new through the dealerships, they cost over 80 bucks. Like $84 for this with the band on it. And I had found one from a private seller, and it was new old stock, and he was willing to sell it to me for $40 plus shipping, which was half of the original price. But then after Roger's comment, I thought, wow, yeah, I can get brake material in rolls or strips, and I could just glue it on myself. I've done that in the past with like a Model A and later model old Fords, you know, in the later 30s, early 40s. Some of them are riveted, some of them are bonded on. So I found where I can buy a roll, and I've already ordered it, a roll of brake band material for 10 bucks. So we go from $84, $85 down to $45, down to $10, and that makes me very, very happy. And I said I was happy that that thing had frozen, because this drum, it's got a little bit of overspray on it now, but it's not all dug up, and it's got a little bit of wear on it, but not bad, and it's definitely serviceable. So yeah, so that's what we got accomplished today. And today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday, and I'm going to try and come out tomorrow, and I would like to get my rear panel modified so that I can put my belt guide on. That's the belt guide for the mower deck belt. And maybe get my seat mount done. If I get those two things done, and oh yeah, it would be nice to get this cleaned and painted, then over the weekend, the rest of the weekend, it'll have plenty of time to dry. My brake pad material won't be until next Friday, so that's a week away. So I have plenty to do in the meantime until that gets here. Let me cover this back up again, keep the dust off it, keep the paint overspray off of it. And tomorrow is the drawing for our giveaway. And I can tell you right now, as of making this video, I haven't been online much today at all, but as of right now, and there's the frame for the Goofy cart, I can tell you that as of right now, nobody has guessed the right amount of wrenches used on the Goofy cart build. Nobody. Close, but no wheel, as the old advertisement used to say. So I'm hoping that some of you still are working at it. You have until 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, when I will stop counting submissions and comments, and I will begin tabulating. Remember, I was wondering about the puddle, and I told you I was going to move the jack, put some Speedy Dry down. I did that. There's the puddle since I moved it. I think what happened is that I just overfilled the piston, and it was the big piston, not down in here, that I filled, although I did try filling that, but that was already pretty well full. But I filled the piston up underneath the jack itself. So this one is good to go as far as I'm concerned. Yep. All right then. I think you have all the latest scoop on what's going on here in the Shade Tree Fix-It Man shop. We have a beautiful day going on. Our high was like 73 or something like that. Just absolutely gorgeous. No need for air conditioning, although I hear my wife's got it going in the house. But out here, no need for air conditioning. And it's just been a wonderful day. Yes, it has. So until next time, let's come over here under the shade tree. And I'll turn the camera around and say thanks for watching, for commenting, and for subscribing. Until next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, saying bye for now. See you tomorrow night.